The Power of Spiritual Enlightenment. Author Shri Rajeev Thatte. We found from UDCT and MMS Finance from Jamnalal Bajaj Institute of Management Studies, Mumbai. About the author. Shri Rajeev Thatte is a first generation entrepreneur. Started his pharmaceutical manufacturing unit in Mumbai in 1981, 44 years back. Shri Rajeev has manufactured coconut oil, refined coconut oil, spices, and Ayurvedic medicines for reputed brands in India. Simultaneously, he started writing in media and publications and became a popular author. Shri Rajeev started his Facebook pages and YouTube channel Enjoy Happiness. This has got over 1 lakh subscribers in last 1 year. Few years back, Shri Rajeev had a car accident leading to skull fracture, then epileptic fits, paralysis, and rectal cancer and tuberculosis. After so many calamities he had faced, he donated his kidney to his widowed wife Sandhya. In these ailments and sufferings, Shri Rajeev kept on moving on the path he had chosen with determination in his happy and cheerful life. Mr. Rajeev is now 67 years old and is moving all over the world, giving lectures, spreading love, kindness, happiness, and mindfulness in all the humanity.
Transforming illness into enlightenment. Illness is often viewed as a burden, an interruption to the flow of life, or a challenge to overcome. However, within spiritual traditions and holistic perspectives, illness can also serve as a profound teacher and catalyst for inner transformation. The journey from suffering to self-awareness reveals how illness, though painful, can pave the way to enlightenment, a deeper understanding of life, self, and the interconnectedness of existence. The dual nature of illness. Illness impacts not only the body but also the mind and spirit. Physical symptoms often trigger emotional and mental reactions such as fear, anxiety, frustration, and sadness. However, this very experience of vulnerability and uncertainty holds the potential for growth. In many cases, illness strips away illusions of control and permanence, forcing individuals to confront their mortality and limitations. This confrontation, although daunting, opens the door to a re-evaluation of priorities, beliefs, and ways of being. The power of acceptance. A key step in transforming illness into enlightenment is the practice of acceptance. Acceptance does not mean resignation or passivity. Instead, it involves acknowledging the reality of the situation without resistance or denial. By surrendering to the present moment and the experiences it brings, individuals can begin to find peace amidst discomfort. This shift in perspective allows the individual to move away from a mindset of victimhood and embrace a more empowering narrative, one where illness becomes a sacred invitation to reconnect with the present and one's inner self. Self-inquiry and reflection. Illness often serves as a mirror, reflecting deeper emotional wounds, unresolved traumas, or imbalances in one's life. Self-inquiry during times of illness can lead to profound insights, such as, what lessons is this experience teaching me? Are there aspects of my life that need healing beyond the physical? How can I cultivate more compassion and kindness toward myself? Engaging in such reflections helps shift the focus from external circumstances to inner growth and healing. This process invites individuals to explore their beliefs about health, purpose, and resilience. Mind-body-spirit connection. Modern science has increasingly acknowledged the connection between the mind, body, and spirit. Research in areas such as mindfulness-based stress reduction, MBSR, and psychoneuroimmunology highlights how practices like meditation, breathwork, and visualization can support both physical healing and emotional well-being. Spiritual traditions, too, emphasize this connection. Practices such as yoga, prayer, and energy healing encourage alignment between the physical and spiritual aspects of self, fostering a sense of harmony that transcends illness. By nurturing this mind-body-spirit connection, individuals can experience moments of transcendence even amid physical suffering. These moments of presence and stillness often become the seeds of enlightenment. Letting go of ego and control. Illness often challenges the ego's attachment to strength, independence, and productivity. In doing so, it can inspire a profound letting go, a release of the need to control every outcome and a surrender to the flow of life. This surrender does not signify weakness but a profound trust in the unfolding of life, even in its most difficult moments. This release of egocentric narratives can lead to a greater sense of unity with the universe and an awareness that life is not defined solely by external achievements but by presence, love, and interconnectedness. Compassion and empathy. Those who have experienced illness often develop a heightened sense of empathy and compassion for others facing similar struggles. This expansion of the heart can become a powerful force for connection and service, fostering a deeper understanding of the shared human experience of vulnerability and resilience. By transforming personal suffering into compassion for others, individuals can find meaning and purpose even in the face of adversity. Tools for transforming illness into enlightenment. Mindfulness meditation. Practicing mindfulness helps cultivate presence and awareness, reducing mental suffering caused by overthinking and worry. Gratitude journaling. Keeping a gratitude journal shifts the focus from pain and limitation to moments of beauty and connection. Body awareness practices. Gentle practices such as yoga or somatic exercises help individuals reconnect with their bodies in a nurturing and non-judgmental way. Creative expression, art, writing, and music can serve as outlets for processing emotions and fostering spiritual insight. Community and support. Connecting with others who have undergone similar experiences provides a sense of belonging and mutual encouragement. The gift of presence. At its core, the transformation of illness into enlightenment involves embracing the present moment in all its complexity. Illness often slows life down, making each breath, each small victory, and each connection more profound. This forced stillness can illuminate the beauty that exists in simple moments of awareness. Rather than being consumed by fear of the future or regret about the past, individuals can learn to rest in the now, the only place where true peace and enlightenment reside. Conclusion: transforming illness into enlightenment is not about bypassing suffering but about finding meaning and growth within it. It is a journey of acceptance, surrender, and self-discovery. By embracing the lessons illness has to offer, individuals can cultivate resilience, compassion, and a deeper sense of purpose. Ultimately, illness can become a gateway to enlightenment, a reminder of the fragility and preciousness of life, as well as the boundless strength of the human spirit. In learning to honor the journey, rather than resist it, we open ourselves to profound healing and the possibility of awakening to a richer, more connected existence. When disaster strikes. Disasters, whether natural or human-made, have a profound and often devastating impact on individuals, communities, and entire nations. They strike with little warning, upending lives and leaving destruction in their wake. Yet, amid the chaos and devastation, stories of resilience, solidarity, and hope emerge, showcasing the incredible strength of the human spirit. Understanding how to respond, rebuild, and grow after a disaster is crucial in navigating the aftermath and fostering resilience. The immediate aftermath. When disaster strikes, the immediate response is often a mixture of shock, fear, and urgency. The priority during these critical moments is ensuring safety and addressing essential needs, rescue efforts, medical care, shelter, and access to clean water and food. First responders, including emergency personnel, community volunteers, and humanitarian organizations, play a pivotal role in stabilizing the situation and offering crucial support. However, for those directly affected, the emotional toll can be immense, requiring not only physical aid but also psychological support. The emotional and psychological impact. Disasters leave lasting emotional scars. Individuals who experience a disaster may face grief, anxiety, depression, and post-traumatic stress. The sudden loss of homes, loved ones, and a sense of normalcy can lead to feelings of helplessness and despair. Coping in the wake of a disaster involves acknowledging and processing these emotions rather than suppressing them. Support networks, counseling, and community connection are vital for fostering healing and recovery. Acts of kindness, shared experiences, and moments of hope can help rebuild a sense of safety and belonging. Community resilience and unity. One of the most inspiring aspects of disaster recovery is the resilience of communities. In the face of destruction, people often come together in remarkable ways, demonstrating compassion, cooperation, and collective strength. This sense of unity is a powerful force for recovery, as neighbors help one another rebuild homes, provide emotional support, and restore local services. Community-driven initiatives, such as volunteer groups and local relief efforts, can accelerate the rebuilding process and foster a renewed sense of purpose. By leaning on each other, communities often emerge stronger and more connected than before. The role of preparedness. Preparedness can significantly mitigate the impact of disasters. Awareness, education, and contingency planning empower individuals and communities to respond more effectively when disaster strikes. Emergency preparedness includes creating disaster response plans, stocking essential supplies, and conducting regular safety drills. Governments and organizations play a crucial role in promoting disaster preparedness, implementing early warning systems, and investing in infrastructure that can withstand extreme events. The more proactive a community is in its disaster planning, the more resilient it becomes in the face of adversity. The path to recovery. Recovery after a disaster is a long and multifaceted process that involves rebuilding not only physical structures but also emotional and social foundations. The recovery process can be broken down into several stages. Relief, providing immediate aid, such as food, medical care, and temporary shelter. Rehabilitation, restoring basic services and infrastructure while addressing short-term housing and employment needs. Reconstruction, rebuilding homes, schools, and public spaces, often with an emphasis on creating more disaster-resilient structures. Resilience building, strengthening social systems, support networks, and preparedness measures to reduce vulnerability to future disasters. Recovery also requires attention to marginalized groups who may face greater challenges due to economic instability, health issues, or lack of access to resources. Personal resilience and growth. On a personal level, surviving a disaster can be a catalyst for profound growth. Many people report experiencing a renewed appreciation for life, deeper relationships, and a strengthened sense of purpose. This phenomenon, known as post-traumatic growth, highlights the capacity of individuals to find meaning and transformation in the aftermath of hardship. Cultivating resilience involves practices such as mindfulness, self-care, and seeking support when needed. Recognizing that it is okay to seek help and lean on others can be a crucial step toward healing. The role of global solidarity. Disasters often spark waves of global compassion and solidarity. International relief efforts, charitable donations, and volunteer initiatives demonstrate that disaster recovery transcends borders. When nations and communities come together to support those affected by disasters, it underscores our shared humanity. However, it is also essential that aid efforts are coordinated, sustainable, and culturally sensitive to ensure that resources are distributed effectively and respectfully. Lessons learned in moving forward. Every disaster holds lessons that can inform future preparedness and response efforts. These lessons include identifying gaps in emergency response systems, improving communication, and ensuring that recovery plans are inclusive and equitable. Communities that take the time to reflect on their experiences and implement improvements can build resilience and reduce the impact of future disasters. Disaster response and recovery are ongoing processes that benefit from collaboration, innovation, and empathy. Conclusion. When disaster strikes, it tests the resilience of individuals and communities alike. Yet, it also reveals the extraordinary capacity for compassion, courage, and renewal. By fostering preparedness, offering support, and nurturing unity, we can transform moments of crisis into opportunities for growth and healing. Disasters remind us of both the fragility and strength of life. While we cannot always prevent them, we can choose how we respond, with resilience, hope, and an unwavering commitment to rebuilding and rising stronger together. Transforming suffering into peace. Suffering is an inescapable part of the human experience. Whether it arises from personal loss, failure, physical pain, or emotional wounds, suffering often feels overwhelming and insurmountable. Yet, many spiritual and psychological traditions teach that suffering can be a pathway to inner peace and profound growth. By shifting our perspective and adopting practices that foster acceptance, resilience, and self-compassion, we can transform suffering into an opportunity for peace. The nature of suffering. Suffering can take many forms. Grief, fear, disappointment, and regret are just a few examples. At its core, suffering arises from resistance to what is. When reality does not align with our expectations or desires, we experience emotional or physical turmoil. However, suffering is not simply the result of external circumstances. Much of our pain is perpetuated by our thoughts, judgments, and inability to let go. Understanding this internal dimension of suffering is the first step toward transformation. Acceptance as the first step. One of the most powerful tools for transforming suffering is acceptance. Acceptance does not mean condoning pain or remaining passive in the face of challenges. Instead, it involves acknowledging the reality of the present moment without resistance or denial. When we accept our suffering, we stop fighting against what we cannot change. This acceptance creates space for healing and opens the door to peace. Practices such as mindfulness meditation can help cultivate this state of non-judgmental awareness, allowing us to observe our pain without becoming consumed by it. Reframing suffering as a teacher. Rather than viewing suffering as a curse or punishment, we can reframe it as a teacher. Every painful experience carries with it the potential for wisdom and growth. Asking reflective questions such as, "What can I learn from this?" or "How can this experience deepen my understanding of myself?" can help shift the narrative from victimhood to empowerment. Many individuals who have endured significant hardship report discovering a greater sense of purpose, empathy, and resilience as a result. This phenomenon, known as post-traumatic growth, illustrates the transformative power of adversity when approached with courage and openness. The role of self-compassion. Self-compassion is a crucial component of transforming suffering into peace. When we experience pain, it is common to fall into patterns of self-criticism or blame. However, these responses often exacerbate our suffering. Practicing self-compassion involves treating ourselves with the same kindness and understanding that we would offer a close friend. Acknowledge your pain without judgment and remind yourself that suffering is a shared human experience. By embracing self-compassion, we create a nurturing inner environment where healing can take place. Letting go of control. Much of our suffering stems from the desire to control outcomes, people, and circumstances. However, life is inherently unpredictable, and clinging to control often leads to frustration and anxiety. Learning to surrender, to let go of what we cannot control, can be a profound act of liberation. Surrendering does not mean giving up, it means releasing the need for certainty and trusting the process of life. This shift in mindset allows us to respond to challenges with greater flexibility and peace. Connection and community. Isolation often intensifies suffering. Reaching out for support and sharing our struggles with others can be a powerful way to alleviate emotional pain. Connection reminds us that we are not alone and that others have faced and overcome similar challenges. Engaging in community, whether through support groups, close friendships, or spiritual circles, fosters a sense of belonging and helps rebuild a sense of hope. By sharing our burdens, we allow others to support us, creating a cycle of compassion and mutual strength. Finding meaning in suffering. One of the most profound ways to transform suffering is by finding meaning within it. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and author of Man's Search for Meaning, argued that even in the most horrific circumstances, individuals can find purpose and dignity by choosing their response to suffering. By identifying a deeper purpose or lesson within our struggles, we can create a narrative that empowers rather than diminishes us. This sense of meaning can provide a guiding light, even during our darkest moments. Practices for cultivating peace. Here are some practical steps to help transform suffering into peace. Mindful breathing. Focusing on the breath helps anchor the mind in the present moment and reduces the grip of negative thoughts. Gratitude journaling. Recording moments of gratitude, even amidst hardship, can shift our focus from pain to appreciation. Loving kindness meditation. This practice involves sending goodwill and compassion to oneself and others, fostering a sense of connection and peace. Creative expression, writing, art, and music can serve as outlets for processing pain and expressing emotions in a constructive way. Service to others. Helping others can shift our focus from our own suffering to the act of creating joy and relief for someone else. The path to liberation. Transforming suffering into peace is not about bypassing pain or ignoring hardship. It is about learning to embrace life in its fullness, both joy and sorrow. This path requires patience, self-awareness, and a commitment to inner work. Over time, as we cultivate acceptance, compassion, and presence, the intensity of suffering begins to soften, revealing the peace that has always been within us. Conclusion. Suffering, though painful, holds the potential to deepen our humanity and awaken us to our inner strength. By transforming suffering into peace, we cultivate resilience, empathy, and a profound appreciation for the present moment. Ultimately, peace is not the absence of suffering but the ability to remain centered, compassionate, and open-hearted in the midst of life's challenges. By embracing our pain and seeking meaning within it, we embark on a journey of healing, growth, and profound self-discovery. Summary. The Guide to Spiritual Enlightenment. Spiritual enlightenment is a journey toward greater awareness, inner peace, and connection with the essence of life. It is not a destination but an ongoing process of self-discovery and transformation. A guide to spiritual enlightenment serves as a compass for navigating this profound path, offering insights and practices that nurture personal growth and consciousness. Core principles of spiritual enlightenment. Self-awareness. The first step toward enlightenment involves developing self-awareness by observing thoughts, emotions, and behaviors without judgment. This practice helps individuals break free from the unconscious patterns that fuel suffering. Mindfulness and presence. Spiritual enlightenment emphasizes living fully in the present moment. By practicing mindfulness, individuals can cultivate a state of being that is free from regrets about the past or worries about the future. Letting go of ego. The ego, with its attachment to status, control, and external validation, often obscures true inner peace. Enlightenment requires transcending the ego and embracing humility, compassion, and authenticity. Acceptance and surrender. Acceptance involves embracing life as it is, without resistance or denial. Surrender does not signify defeat but a conscious decision to trust the flow of life and find peace within challenges. Connection to a higher purpose. Spiritual enlightenment often entails recognizing the interconnectedness of all beings and finding meaning beyond material pursuits. This connection fosters empathy, gratitude, and a sense of purpose. Practices for spiritual enlightenment. Meditation, a foundational practice for quieting the mind, enhancing focus, and deepening awareness. Contemplation, reflecting on meaningful questions such as, "Who am I?" and "What is my purpose?" to foster insight and clarity. Gratitude journaling, regularly noting moments of gratitude helps shift focus from scarcity to abundance. Service to others. Acts of kindness and service nurture humility and strengthen the sense of unity with others. Overcoming obstacles on the path. The journey to spiritual enlightenment is not without challenges. Doubt, fear, and setbacks are common, but they can also serve as valuable lessons. Patience, self-compassion, and resilience are essential for persevering through difficulties. The ultimate goal, inner freedom and peace. Spiritual enlightenment ultimately leads to a state of inner freedom, where peace is no longer dependent on external circumstances. It fosters a deeper understanding of the self and the universe, allowing individuals to live with grace, authenticity, and profound joy. By following a guide to spiritual enlightenment, individuals embark on a transformative journey that invites them to live more intentionally, foster compassion, and awaken to the boundless beauty of existence. References in literature on The Guide to Spiritual Enlightenment. Numerous works of literature, both classical and contemporary, explore themes of spiritual enlightenment and self-discovery. These texts provide valuable insights into the nature of the spiritual journey and the transformative power of inner awakening. Below are some notable references in literature that delve into the quest for spiritual enlightenment. 1. The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. This seminal work emphasizes the importance of living in the present moment and transcending the ego. Tolle's teachings align with many timeless spiritual principles, offering readers practical guidance for achieving mindfulness and inner peace. 2. Siddhartha by Hermann Hesse. A profound exploration of the spiritual quest, Siddhartha follows the journey of a man seeking enlightenment. The narrative beautifully portrays the tension between intellectual knowledge and experiential wisdom, ultimately demonstrating the necessity of surrender and self-realization. 3. Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda. This autobiographical work introduces readers to the life of a spiritual teacher and the practice of Kriya Yoga. Yogananda's reflections highlight the interconnectedness of all life and the transformative power of spiritual discipline and divine guidance. 4. Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. Though not explicitly spiritual, this powerful memoir offers profound insights into finding meaning in suffering. Frankl's emphasis on choosing one's attitude in any circumstance resonates with the concept of spiritual freedom and enlightenment. 5. The Bhagavad Gita. A cornerstone of Hindu spirituality, the Bhagavad Gita presents a dialogue between Prince Arjuna and the divine Krishna. The text explores themes of duty, selflessness, meditation, and surrender to divine will, offering a timeless guide to spiritual wisdom. 6. Tao Te Ching by Laozi. This ancient text presents the philosophy of Taoism, emphasizing harmony, simplicity, and the natural flow of life. Laozi's teachings advocate for humility, non-attachment, and inner peace as essential components of enlightenment. 7. The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. This allegorical novel tells the story of Santiago, a shepherd who embarks on a journey to find his personal legend. Coelho's work underscores the idea that enlightenment often requires following one's heart, embracing uncertainty, and recognizing that the treasure we seek may lie within. 8. Walden by Henry David Thoreau. Thoreau's reflections on simplicity, nature, and self-reliance serve as a meditation on spiritual enlightenment through solitude and introspection. Walden invites readers to question societal norms and rediscover their connection to the natural world. 9. Be Here Now by Ram Dass. A blend of autobiography, philosophy, and spiritual instruction, Be Here Now captures the essence of living in the present moment and seeking spiritual truth beyond materialism. Ram Dass's journey from academic to spiritual teacher reflects the transformative power of surrender and devotion. 10. The Untethered Soul by Michael A. Singer. This modern guide to spiritual awakening focuses on letting go of the inner dialogue that binds us to fear and pain. Singer's work emphasizes the liberation that comes from observing the mind and releasing attachments. Common themes in spiritual literature: presence, the importance of mindfulness and living fully in the present moment; surrender, the recognition that peace comes from letting go of control and embracing the flow of life; self-discovery, the understanding that enlightenment is an inward journey, requiring reflection, discipline, and openness; unity, a recurring message that all life is interconnected and that separation is an illusion created by the mind. Conclusion. Literature on spiritual enlightenment offers diverse perspectives on the path to inner peace and self-realization. From ancient scriptures to modern philosophical works, these texts serve as guides, offering wisdom and inspiration for those seeking a deeper understanding of life and their place within it. Whether approached through the lens of religion, philosophy, or personal growth, these works underscore the timeless truth that enlightenment is a journey of returning to one's true nature.
The Power of Spiritual Enlightenment. Author Shri Rajeev Shantaram Thatte. We found from Udacity and MMS Finance from Jamnalal Bajaj Institute of Management Studies, Mumbai. About the author, Shri Rajeev Thatte is a first generation entrepreneur. Started his pharmaceutical manufacturing unit in Mumbai in 1981, 44 years back. Shri Rajeev has manufactured coconut oil, refined coconut oil, spices, and Ayurvedic medicines for reputed brands in India. Simultaneously, he started writing in media and publications and became a popular author. Shri Rajeev started his Facebook pages and YouTube channel Enjoy Happiness. This has got over 1 lakh subscribers in last 1 year. Few years back, Shri Rajeev had a car accident leading to skull fracture, then epileptic fits, paralysis, and rectal cancer and tuberculosis. After so many calamities he had faced, he donated his kidney to his widowed wife Sandhya. In these ailments and sufferings, Shri Rajeev kept on moving on the path he had chosen with determination in his happy and cheerful life. Mr. Rajeev is now 67 years old and is moving all over the world, giving lectures, spreading love, kindness, happiness, and mindfulness in all the humanity.